Good afternoon. This is Jeff Hood sitting in for Marc McMain on the Marc McMain Show on WMOQ. We got a busy hour for you. Four guests. Let's get right to it. Our very first guest, a good friend of mine from over in the Athens area, and that is Dr. and also Pastor Nolan Smith. And Nolan, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jeff, man, it's great to be with you. It's Nolan Wood.
Oh, sorry, Nolan Wood. I think Nolan Smith played football, but Nolan Wood.
Yeah,
I knew that, so I don't know.
I'll take the credit.
You might be playing in the NFL right now if you were Nolan Smith. But Nolan Wood is our first guest, and a couple of things we wanted to talk about. Your involvement with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes over in the Athens area, and also Life Church. So let's start first with the FCA. Tell us about how you got involved, and more specifically, what I guess schools that you're involved with over there to bring this, to the students. The FCA mantra, or what that's all about.
Yeah. So with Fellowship of Christian Athletes, it's been my honor to serve there for 10 years. And so I cover Athens, Clark County, so Cedar Shoals, Clark Central, all the middle schools. And it's really awesome that we're actually starting to serve elementary schools now as well. And it just really proves how God is working, because these are public school systems. And a lot of people would look at that and say, there's no way you're allowed to be in those school systems and talk openly about Jesus. And I'd say, well, we've been doing it for 10 years, and even longer than that before I got there. And so we've got open doors to minister to coaches and athletes, and students don't even have to be athletes. Everybody's welcome. So once a week, we have a big huddle to where we'll have 60-plus kids come to Clark Central or to Cedar Shoals, and it's different huddles at every school. Our teams have chaplains on those teams. We have opportunities for people in the community to be volunteers with our programs, churches to come and help serve meals to our kids in our schools, and so it's pretty incredible of what we get to do. But FCA is an amazing platform because it takes athletics and sports, which people love, and it takes the gospel and merges those two things together. And when you think about it, sports is a universal unifier. You can roll a ball out in any part of the world, and we don't have to speak the same language. We don't have to look the same. We don't have to talk the same. That ball is the language, and it brings people together. Well, what else does that? The gospel does. It brings people together no matter who you are, where you're from, what you look like. So you combine the unifier of sport, the unifier of the gospel. That is FCA, and it's a blessing to be a part of it and do what we do for the amount of time we've been able to do it. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Wow, that's just so positive. You hear so many negative stories about, what's going on in schools and, the community, but man, this is powerful. And the fact that you can reach out to these kids and, it's not only bringing them, most importantly, the truth, the gospel about Jesus, but just being that positive influence. And that has to be so rewarding to, just see the impact you're able to help, make on the lives of these young student athletes.
It is, and it impacts them, and it actually impacts the entire family, because we're able to reach these kids, and our reach goes beyond just their sport and school. We've had families reach out to us who've needed help with particular things whenever there's tragedy that hits their home. We're right there. There was a family whose house burned down. They lost everything. FCA was there, and other donors who support the ministry, they were able to come alongside and help that family replace their clothes and get food and do things like that. So FCA has a massive reach in our community, and not just to our kids. And it's in some ways, and I'm a pastor, but in some ways FCA has done more effective work than the church has, because we're right there on the front lines, and we go to their territory. We don't just say, hey, y'all come on into church. We go meet them where they are, share the gospel, and say, oh, and by the way, you also need to be connected to a local church.
Yeah.
And so we partner with these churches, and it's so important.
Yeah, and this is critical to, reach out to these kids, and, it trickles to their parents and the coaches and, the staff. If folks want to help, maybe financially, to make a donation to keep this going, provide supplies or things that are needed, how would they go about doing that?
Yeah, the donations are so important, and there's many ways to serve. Obviously, in prayer, we need your prayers. And volunteering, would love to have some people maybe step on the process there, and in funding. The gospel is free, but ministry costs. It just does. And so our goal is to put a Bible in every kid and coach's hand. We did the math on that, and for us to supply that to our county, that's going to be about $10,000 for us to do that. But we believe in it, and we don't just hand them a Bible, but we teach them what's in that Bible because we're here and we're planning it. So if anybody wants to help, I just ask you to reach out to us via email. So it's nwood@fca.org. Just shoot me an email, say, hey, I heard you on the radio broadcast. We'd love to get connected some kind of way. nwood@fca.org, and we'll get you plugged in.
That's very simple. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask you about is Life Church, which is in Athens. You're the pastor. But I guess some exciting news. We've seen the sign over in Oconee County near the roundabout off Macon Highway. But update our listeners. How are things going as far as making that move to Oconee County?
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and that's been our game plan the whole time. So we started out in Athens at a small building, and I've been pastoring there for 11 years. And when we got to Athens, I said, are we just here because we needed a building, or are we planting roots in Athens? And the response from the congregation was, this was a place for us to meet. And so we wanted to get over to Oconee County to reach that community. And when you think about Oconee, a lot of people think, well, it's an affluent place, and, folks seem to be doing fine. I don't know if people knew this, but some of the highest suicide rates in the state are in Oconee County.
Wow.
A lot of people are just facing desperation and hopelessness, and we want to bring the hope of the gospel, and that's what we do. So we're meeting at Oconee County Middle School right now, 10 a.m. every Sunday morning, and a great group of people. It is it's just a culture there that when you come into that place, you can feel it. You feel welcomed. I've been to churches before where I've walked in and people look at me like, what are you doing here? And that shouldn't be the feel when you walk into the local church. And so with Life Church of Athens, we love Jesus. We love the gospel. We believe in family worship. Once the last Sunday of every month, we do a family service where everybody's in there, kids, and it's just cool to see kids watching their parents and others worship the Lord. And so that's what we do. We believe in expository preaching. For those that don't know, we go line by line, verse by verse. I'm a simple man. I love to teach in a simple way and really open up the scriptures and see what they say. And so that's what we do. We believe in that. And we really hold ourselves to what the scriptures talk about in Acts, of how we gather together in prayer, fellowship, food. We love to eat. And so we do those things. Life groups throughout the week for all ages. And we just want to represent Christ and his kingdom well.
It seems like there's more churches nowadays that are doing, I think you said, the expository preaching where and we do it in our Sunday school class where my wife and I go. But man, that you just feel it. You can really kind of dive into the Word when you're just going word by word, verse by verse.
Yeah, you can. And I think that's one of the best ways to do it, because the Bible says that people perish for a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding. And I really want our folks to know, what does the Bible say? God has given us his Word, and every word means something, and it has power, and we need to break apart what does the Scripture say. And the other part with expository preaching is you don't get to skip over stuff.
Yeah.
Right? If it's in the Bible and it's there and written for our instruction and edification and God's glory, we need to know it. We need to study it. And so we walk through tough passages. If it's there, we're going to preach it, and we're going to open it up. So I think that's the way that God intended for it to be.
Yeah, I think there's some churches that pick and choose and, skip this verse and then things get taken out of context. So I love it, because there's a reason every verse is in the Bible.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Life Church of Athens, but you're meeting in the Oconee County Middle School, and soon to be moving down the street to your new location, hopefully in the not-so-distant future. But if folks want to come visit Life Church Athens, Oconee County Middle School, kind of give us the who, what, when, where, specifically the times and dates of the services.
Yes, yeah. So one service, 10 a.m. every Sunday morning. There at Oconee County Middle School. We have our programming for our kids, and that's babies all the way up through 5th grade. If you've got a middle school or high school student, we do kind of a Sunday school style every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for them, and they dig in the Word as well. And so that's where we gather right now. You did mention we do have property that we have purchased right there in Oconee County too. We've got 10 acres of beautiful land. And some Sundays we actually have service outside. So people bring their chair and they get to hear the birds sing and the squirrels.
Wonderful.
Might drop an acorn on your head, but it's a cool place to be.
Yeah.
And so I would encourage you all to go to our website, lifechurchofathens.com, and we keep that updated consistently on where we are, what we're doing. And, and if you're interested in, just more about who we are, we're very clear with our statement of belief on that website and who we are and also who we're not. So, I believe in being transparent. One thing that I love to say about our church is we don't have any iron curtains. There's no secret of stuff happening behind the scenes. You're going to know who our leadership is, who we are, what we believe, what we're about, and we're going to go about the Scripture and have a church structure that is solely biblical, and that's what we want to do. Wonderful.
Pastor Nolan Wood, you are a busy man. One more time, you tell us about the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. If folks want to get involved, volunteering or helping in some way or making a donation, what was that email address again?
So that is nwood at fca.org, nwood at fca.org, and would love to get you all plugged in. And one really cool thing is when it comes to gifts, we love to have people partner up with us. And one of the coolest things that I have is a mom she's a single mom, and she's been given $10 a month for the last 10 years. And God sees that, and He's blessed that and blessed her, and it blesses our ministry. So there's folks who give on all types of levels and scales, but it's sowing in the good ground. And me and my wife, we support other staff, and we believe in putting our resources into good ground. And when you do it into FCA, it's going to yield an eternal fruit, which you're going to see when you get to heaven. Somebody's going to come and say, hey, thank you for sowing into that ministry because somebody gave me a Bible, somebody taught me that Bible, and my eternity was changed because you invested in that ministry. So I'm excited for heaven when we get to have those interactions.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Pastor Wood, for being on our show today.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity, Jeff.
All right. Thanks so much. That has been Dr., also Pastor Nolan Wood. I can't believe I called him Nolan Smith, the football player from Georgia that's in the NFL. But, man, Nolan Wood, just an incredible man that does so much in the not only Athens community but also in Oconee County. And I love, the church, Life Church of Athens, but working with these kids.
Exactly.
And able to, that door opening to get into Cedar Shoals and Clark Central high schools.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're
Just
making
phenomenal.
A difference.
Absolutely, yes. So you are listening to the Marc McMain Show. I'm Jeff Hood, sitting in for Marc on this beautiful Wednesday. Masters Week is underway in Augusta.
Yes,
I think
you've got your green today.
Yes, I'm wearing some green. They've got the par 3 this afternoon. I'm maybe going to hear a little Masters music here in a second as we go to our commercial break. And so we're kind of starting off hot today with our first of 4 guests, and we will have guest number 2 who's live in the studio that will be joining us in just a moment as we step away, take a break. It is 13 minutes after the top of the hour. And again, you are listening to the Marc McMain Show on Q92.3.
Spring is right around the corner. New beginnings, fresh starts, and big moments. If you're thinking about proposing, if you're ready to take the next step, you go to P&A Jewelers. For 50 years, families have trusted P&A Jewelers to celebrate life's most important milestones. Proudly second-generation, family-owned and operated by brother and sister, we specialize in stunning engagement rings and custom designs made just for you. P&A Jewelers, located at 4665 Atlanta Highway next to Quick Trip in Loganville.
Need a hot biscuit in the morning? You'll find that at Stripling's General Store. Need a hot lunch like chicken with some of your favorite side dishes? You'll find that at Stripling's General Store. How about some yummy barbecue or Brunswick stew for dinner? You'll find that at Stripling's General Store. Plus there's ice, fuel, snacks, cold beverages, and so much more. It's your one-stop shop. That's Stripling's General Store. Highway 78 East and Highway 53 in Bogart. Open 7 days a week.
Recently, I was on a flight writing on a legal pad, and the man next to me struck up a conversation. "Are you an author?" he asked. I said, "No, I'm actually a preacher." Well, the look on his face was priceless. How would you feel if you're stuck sitting next to a preacher for several hours? Surprisingly, though, we had a good conversation. He asked me several questions about Jesus, and I told him that the Bible says if Jesus didn't rise from the dead, Christianity is worthless. Ever thought about that? You see, the truthfulness of Christianity hinges on whether Jesus died and rose from the grave. There's great evidence for it, and I'm one of the billions of Christians around the globe who believes that the resurrection really happened. If Jesus did conquer death, then he's worthy of your trust. If he didn't, reject him because he's a fraud. I believe he really conquered death. What do you believe? This is Brian Wright, speaking right from my heart.
For devotions, visit rightfromtheheart.org.
It's family fun every Saturday night at the Winder Barrel Speedway in Winder. Gates open at 4 p.m. and the green flag drops at 7 p.m. Don't miss the excitement of the greatest show on dirt as drivers buckle up, get door to door, and bumper to bumper that take that checkered flag. It's the Winder Barrel Speedway, 330 Donahue Road in Winder. Call 770-867-6327 or go to winderbarrelspeedway.com. It's the place to be on Saturday night.
Tea time at Augusta, starting in the morning when the honorary. I know it is. It is
beautiful.
I want to go to the course. I've been there before.
So pretty there too.
Oh, it is. And nobody can take their cell phone in. I love that because nobody's over there checking Twitter and Facebook when they should be looking at the beauty of the course.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the azaleas.
Yeah.
The trees.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the trees have a lot of significance there as well.
Yeah. Very affordable concessions. You can eat really well for about $5.
Yes, okay.
And, oh, by the way, there's some pretty good golfers there, too, to watch.
And the merchandise.
Yeah. That's right, the merchandise.
Yeah, a new shirt.
Yeah.
Always fun to get.
That's right. There's a mad rush to the merchandise building when they open the gates. Yeah, so it's a great place here in the state of Georgia.
A lot of history.
Yes. Well, this is the Marc McMain Show. Now, Marc is out busy running for state senate, so I'm sitting in today for Marc. And we are honored to have former mayor of Loganville, Dan Curry, in the studio. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful drive from Loganville out to the station.
Very
yes.
A lot of nice country pastures and
absolutely
woods.
Yeah. It's our little secret.
I should not mention that.
Yeah. We don't want to commercialize it just yet. But
if you're listening, don't tell anybody I said that.
No, he really didn't mean that.
Yeah.
Well,
and it's also added bonus when it's like 68 degrees and a little breeze blowing out there.
Nice.
So
Today is beautiful.
Now you've known Chastity, I think, her family quite a while.
Yes, her mother-in-law and we go back. Oh, I'm not going to say how old I am. So you know about how old she is too.
Yeah.
But we were probably 4 or 5 years old. Her father came to our church as pastor of the church, and so yes, and of course we went to separate high schools, but we came together we went to separate elementary schools, but we came together in high school.
Yeah,
and then of course later, we were still in the same church together. Her father and mother-in-law were already married. Nancy and I, we were still dating, and we did some bowling. We were dating and they were married, an old married couple. But yes, I remember whenever their first son was born, and then Jason was born, and then Angela.
Yep.
How about that?
So,
and that was in
Loganville? No, that was over in Gwinnett County in the Centerville community.
Got it.
A little bit south of Snellville.
Okay.
Yes.
So not far from Loganville.
Not far, about 10 miles. Yeah.
Boy, talk about growth, Gwinnett.
Man,
wow.
Snellville, too.
Yeah, in Snellville,
Used to be the phrase, everybody knows everybody.
Well.
But now I'm not sure about that.
Everybody knows a few people, but we're trying to figure out who the other ones are.
You have to know where to look for them.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. Well, Dan, we are delighted to have you here, but you're primarily here to tell us about a big event coming up in Loganville a week from this Saturday, April the 18th. What's going on over there?
We're certainly hoping it's going to be a big event. I was asked to start putting this thing together back probably about 8 months ago. Seems that a couple of our Lions Club members went over to the neighboring county of Gwinnett and saw a health fair.
Okay.
They liked it, and they thought, hey, that'd be something neat to have in Loganville. So as a Lions Club project. So they asked me if I would take the task of putting some folks together and creating this thing. And one of the first phone calls I made was to Piedmont Hospital and talked to Carrie Bailey there. And she and we began to formulate this thing. So now we have got both Lions Clubs in Loganville on board with it, the Rotary Club, the Ladies Club, the United Methodist Church, the Baptist Church, First Baptist Church Loganville is somewhat involved. And one of our really big contenders in this event is the Walton County Healthcare Foundation, Ben Garrett and his group. They are funding about 99% of this. And then there's a little bit of private money come in, but mostly it's funded by the Healthcare Foundation. But yes, we want to put together an event, and it looks like it's coming together, of about 50 vendors. And you'll come into the Methodist Church, and there'll be tables set out there. And of course, they'll get there early, and they'll put their tablecloths on there, and anything they want to decorate their table with. But they'll have information. The Piedmont Hospital will be taking blood pressure. The Lions Club will have eye screening to see if you have a problem with your eyes. Can't make a diagnosis, but they can say, hey, you look like you're good, or you look like you need to see an optometrist or an eye physician. But about 50 folks. Now, this is going to be located at the Methodist Church in Loganville, right downtown Main Street, right next to the town green, at 221 Main Street, Loganville. And this will be Saturday, as you said earlier, Saturday, April the 18th, from 10 o'clock in the morning till 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And like I say, 50 vendors, just to name a few of those folks who are going to be there. We have contemporary dentistry, the AARP Safe Driving, Gethsemane Domestic Violence Ministry, Loganville Lions Club will be there. Operation Rally Point. Operation Rally Point will actually be there for 3 capacities. They are real big in taking people out of the woods, homeless folks, and getting them into temporary housing and then working with them to get them into permanent housing. So they'll have one table set up there talking about housing.
Okay.
They'll have another one there if you have questions with the Veterans Administration. They'll have someone there to work with you on that. And then they'll also have counseling because, when you bring somebody out of the woods, we got a gentleman who came out of the woods about a year ago. His wife had cancer. They housed him, and she passed away. And now they're working with him now to get him into housing that he can afford and actually buy this house. So they're working with him on that. But it takes a lot of counseling in the process. So we'll have counselors there to talk with people about whatever they need to talk about. The Georgia Dermatology Partners will be there. The Women's Department of North Georgia, Women's Specialist of North Georgia, Temple Love Nutrition, just many. That's just a handful. But we'll have some breakout sessions with the American Cancer Society. We'll be talking about Narcan, which is the drug. If you have somebody who is overdosing on any type of drug, you can insert that into their nose, press it, and this may not be quite as simple as I'm stating it here, but you can come and get training. But anyway, this will help to counteract the effects of Narcan.
Amazing. And
most all, matter of fact, I think now they're pretty much requiring most businesses, community organizations to have this on hand because you never know.
Sure.
You never know. It's good to have it in your house.
Yeah.
I mean, not saying your kid's going to be on drugs, but if you don't know it and all of a sudden they're doing something strange, you have this. And they say even if you misdiagnose it, it's what they tell me, it's not going to be a problem. So, but anyway, don't take it from me. Come and learn about it on the 18th. But they'll be there. But what we want to do there is it'll be a community-wide event. And I like the word community. And I kind of fought for that word because if you just say the Loganville, well, that's just kind of restricts it to the boundaries of Loganville. Mm-hmm. But, it's kind of like that phrase in the Bible about your neighbor.
Yeah.
That is just, it can be the guy next door or it could be the guy 100 miles down the road.
Sure.
And same with community. I mean, I grew up in the Centerville community. We were unincorporated, and but there's no boundaries, and that's the thing with this. I mean, we'd like to have folks there from, Walton County, Gwinnett County, Rockdale County, Newton, Barrow, whomever, but we want to provide some wellness. It will be a wellness event focusing on education, awareness, and resource connections, and local health and wellness providers. As I say, about 50 of them will be there. There'll be nonprofits there, community partners will be available to provide information, guidance, and pathways to better health care. Going to have free ice cream for the children, not for me.
Not the adults.
Not for the adults, but
I
for
like
the children.
ice cream.
And a wide range of resources and giveaways. Free haircuts if you
nice.
you probably won't be the style you want, but if you're in need of a haircut, my understanding is we will be giving haircuts as well, and some guest speakers with these breakout sessions. But we're looking forward to this. Well, like I said, we've got a lot of folks locally involved with it, and
It's incredible.
we open it to everybody. Just a few days ago, I couldn't do it. My voice is popping right now with all this allergies and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But a few days ago, I was invited to come be filmed with the Monroe radio or television station. So I didn't go, but Carrie from Piedmont, she did that. So we're trying to promote it everywhere. Radio, television, flyers, banners.
Well, we've been promoting it here on the station.
Thank you so much for doing that.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And we'll continue doing so.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
sure will.
And this is, again, a week from this Saturday, April the 18th, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Loganville First United Methodist Church.
Right there, right there on downtown Loganville. As a matter of fact, that day's going to be a very busy day because we will be in the Family Life Center of the Methodist Church, and just across the campus of the Methodist Church, next to the town green, they're having a margarita festival. So there's going to be a lot of people in for that. So we hope to bring some of those people across and teach them about better health.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for coming in, Dan, and hopefully we'll have great weather next Saturday too, and draw a big crowd.
Keep it in your prayers.
Yeah,
Yes.
a lot.
And come out and be a part of it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll come and definitely say hi and check out the vendors. Is there going to be CPR training there by chance?
That is a good suggestion. Right now, no.
Okay.
Well, but I tell people that this is new. This is a first.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I've never done this before, so we're going to learn some things, and we'd like to make this an annual event.
Okay.
And because health is very, very important.
Oh, without a doubt.
And we'd like to make this an annual event, so things that we don't do this year, maybe we can do it next year.
Yeah.
And we'd like to have it all throughout the year, that maybe have a nice venue somewhere and have maybe every quarter have a speaker come in from any organization pertaining to health, and spend about 45 minutes to an hour talking about health, what to do, what not to do, and just how to live better.
Awesome. Well, folks, get out there and enjoy it. A week from Saturday, take part in the Loganville Community Health Fair, 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. at the Loganville First United Methodist Church. And once again, Dan, thanks for coming in. We love the in-studio guest, and appreciate you being here.
Thank you for letting me come.
Yes, sir. That has been former Loganville Mayor Dan Curry, a great guy involved in the Loganville community.
Yes.
And you are listening to the Marc McMain Show. I'm Jeff Hood, sitting in for Mark, and we come up toward the bottom of the hour. We'll step away, take a break, and our next guest, I think, is on the line. We've got the Lieutenant Governor, Bert Jones, hanging on, and we'll talk to Bert right after these messages. You're listening to Q 92.3.
Have you been putting off auto repairs? Do you want a body shop you know and trust? go see AutoCorrect Collision. AutoCorrect is a family-owned and operated collision center with over 45 years of experience. Their equipment and training exceed industry standards. No repair is too big or small. Ask about the special drawings and mention this ad for a discount. Visit AutoCorrect Collision at 409 Mayfield Drive or call them at 770-207-1241.
Hey y'all, this is Bethany, owner of Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel. From durable work boots built for long days to statement pieces ready for Saturday night and everything in between, we've got the brands that feel just right for everyone in the family. Stop by and see why we're your one-stop shop. Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel is located at 116 South Broad Street, right in the heart of downtown Monroe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up with all the fun events happening with Willfully Guided Co. and for previews of all of our newest merchandise.
Madison Flooring, located at 1167 Eatonton Road in Madison, is your full-service and professional installation center for all kinds of flooring, from tile, carpet, laminate, wood. They even do showers. They have granite and quartz countertops. All military, police, firefighters, and teachers ask for your discount. Madison Flooring is locally owned and operated. For knowledgeable and friendly service, call 706-431-5152.
Welcome back to the Marc McMain Show. Marc is out running for state senate, so I'm sitting in for Marc on his program. My name is Jeff Hood. It is the bottom of the hour, and on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in Georgia, and we are delighted to welcome our next guest. He's the Lieutenant Governor of Georgia and running to be our next governor, and that is Burt Jones. Burt, good to have you with us.
Hey, I appreciate y'all having me on, and you're right, it is a beautiful day outside.
Absolutely, and you may have heard our bumper music there, the theme from the Masters, and I tell you, I'm sure if you're not going to be in Augusta this week, you're going to have one eye while you're on the campaign trail on what's going on down in Augusta.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to make it over there at least one day, before it's over with on Sunday. But, yeah, obviously it's an exciting time. I think rain came in and it hit perfectly because it kind of – hell, I don't know if y'all had it over there in Walton County, but, we had a little rain here the last couple of days, and it's really made everything pop green and got some of this pollen out of the air. So it's been nice. But Augusta was always an exciting time down there.
Oh, yeah. Always magnificent this time of year, especially in Augusta. Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you, our last guest we just had on before you was the former mayor of Loganville, Dan Curry. He said to tell you hello, and he's excited about your run for governor. But I'll tell you, we got a few things to ask you about. Let's start with the General Assembly session wrapped up last week. You look back, were you kind of pleased with some of the legislation that got across the finish line?
Yeah. I mean, we got just about every issue we wanted to get addressed. Obviously, we balanced the budget. That's always number one. We lowered the state income tax for the fourth year in a row. It's got us on a trajectory for 3.9%. I'd like to see us get to zero if elected governor. And we also capped property taxes at the local level, something that I think a lot of people have been talking about. And we were able to accomplish that. We invested in mental health care. We invested in public safety, and we also invested in education as well as far as we passed a literacy bill. To put more coaches in our K through 5 school systems, and then also tried to expand our school choice opportunities that we've been doing since I've been elected lieutenant governor. So I would say mostly a successful session, and I would say that we probably, if I had to look back and say we got everything I wanted to get done, I could easily say that we did.
Wow. Nice. Okay. I know you guys stay busy there. You were there till like after midnight last Thursday on Sinai Day, but appreciate all you do there. But we really want to talk to you about the run for governor. Now, affordability has been a major theme this year, and I've been following you on social media, and you've been all around the state. What are you hearing on the campaign trail from voters as far as what they're hoping to get from you or whoever our next governor is going to be?
Well, I think they just want a consistent conservative, really. I mean, like I said, whoever the next governor is, it's not like they're inheriting a bad situation. I mean, Governor Kemp has done a good job, and the legislative body, which is Republican, have helped in his efforts, and in helping lower. We've been a part of lowering state income tax. We've been a part of capping property taxes. We've been a part of, building a really strong reserve, and the up to $14 billion reserve that we've been able to give back to taxpaying citizens in the form of rebates, or invested in infrastructure projects. And so there's a lot of good things that are going on in the state of Georgia. I think the most important thing that we do is elect somebody who's comes from a business background, which I do, but also knows how to get things done through the legislative process, which I do, and somebody who's a true conservative, and a true business person, because a lot of these guys I'm running against, they're really portraying the misinformation that they're giving is they're not portraying themselves as who they really are, and they're putting themselves out there as these strong Trump-backed conservatives, and I'm the only one that actually has the president's endorsement, and he's done it 3 different times for me now. So I would just ask the folks who was there for you in 2020 fighting, and 2022 and 24 when we were trying to get the president back elected. I'm the only one who was out, present, and visible, fighting for the people of the state of Georgia, trying to keep our state red.
Well, our guest is Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones, and Burt, you jumped on my next question, and that has to do with President Trump endorsing you. But you've got not only the endorsement of President Trump, but you've got a lot of endorsements from many sheriffs around the state of Georgia.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got the president, obviously, the vice president, President Trump, and then Vice President Vance. Those are big endorsements. But we also have Turning Point USA, the Charlie Kirk organization. Majority of the sheriffs there are here in this state have endorsed us, including your one there in Walton County, and even your former sheriff, Sheriff Chapman there. Yeah. He's endorsed us as well. Our new U.S. Marshal, but both of majority sheriffs around the state have endorsed us. Majority of the legislators around the state have endorsed us, and business leaders from around the state. And the reason why is because they've had dealings with me. They know who I am. They know I'll do what I say I'm going to do, and they know that I'm a true common sense, business-minded conservative that born and raised here in the state of Georgia and wants to see the state of Georgia continue to prosper.
So, Governor Kemp's terming out. There's several candidates on the Republican side running for governor, several on the Democratic side. As you mentioned, you're the only one that has the endorsement of President Trump. But, early voting right around the corner. The primary day of election is May the 19th. For the voters that are still learning about you, and when they get to that ballot or the polling place and they look at the names, what would you say differentiates you from your other Republican opponents?
Well, number one, I always tell people the best way to see what somebody's going to do in the future is just look what they've done in the past. And I'm the one who's delivered on lowering state income tax. I'm the one who's delivered on capping property taxes. I'm the one who has delivered on election integrity efforts, as well as banning boys and girls sports and all these other issues that a lot of these guys are running on. These are issues that I've already gotten done with the help of the legislature there at the Capitol, or in the process of doing. And and like I said, I'm the only one in the race who's been consistent, conservative, guy who has been in the trenches, whether it was in 2020, 22, or 2024, that has tried to deliver for the people of Georgia. And if you're a Republican voter and want somebody who's been consistently with you on the big issues, then I'm your person. And I've got the leadership background. I've always thrived in trying to do things that they say can't be done. That's always what I've been doing at the legislature and in business, just defying the odds and always trying to improve the lives of everyone.
Now, a week or so ago, you put out a post on social media that you're ready to debate, and there is going to be at least one. I know the big one's coming up on the first day of early voting, Monday, April the 27th, hosted by the Atlanta Press Club. That'll be televised on GPB, but you'll have a chance to get in the mix with the opposition on the Republican ticket. Is that something that gets you excited, where people can see you front and center, how they can kind of compare you to the other guys?
Yeah, I mean, I would love. Obviously, I welcome the opportunity. I'm the one that asked for a debate. It's really become a two-person race, to tell you the truth. I would love to have him one-on-one, because the image that he's building or he's putting out there is a totally fraudulent image. He's trying to sell himself as some outside, conservative guy. Facts of the matter are, he's not an outsider. He's been buying all politicians for 2 decades now at the State House, and he supported Jeb Bush, he supported Nikki Haley, he supported Jeff Duncan, and he supported Liz Cheney. So he's not really the strongest conservative in the race either. Like I said, I would love to debate him on all these other things that he's been attacking me on, with all the tens of millions of dollars that he's spent. I would love him just to look in the camera and say, show us where all this stuff is that you're claiming that Burr's been a part of, because none of it's true. But that's what he's trying to buy, the governor's mansion, and I would love to expose him one-on-one in a debate for what he is, and he's pretty much a fraud as far as I'm concerned.
Wow, okay. Well, our co-host has a question for you, Bert. Chastity?
Absolutely. So kind of a little more lighthearted and fun. I always like to take it to another level. So thank you for your time, Lieutenant. And so what's your favorite go-to Georgia comfort food place? So is it barbecue, fried chicken, some peach cobbler? So your favorite?
I'm probably gonna be a fried chicken guy, and it's probably gonna be right here, Buckner's restaurant here in Jackson, Georgia. They do a great job. They're right off the Interstate 75, and they kind of got this Lazy Susan, seating, and they bring out all kinds of good southern food, and they do a really good job. It's a family-owned business for quite some time, but yeah, fried chicken is probably my go-to. But as far as desserts are concerned, I do love good either cobbler or just a good pound cake. So
that sounds great. So I got Buckner's on my list. So also, what is one Georgia town you think everyone should visit?
Ooh.
Well, aren't y'all in Good Hope?
That's
close.
right.
Yes,
I was
sir.
hoping you would go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're in Good Hope. So, I mean, Good Hope's obviously a good town. Social Circle's a good town. There's a lot of towns in that area of Middle Georgia that you guys are in that are nice town. Greensboro's a great town.
Yep.
Madison's a great town.
Blairsville.
Blairsville, yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of great little southern quaint little towns all over the state of Georgia. I used to represent that area of the state when I was in the state senate, as far as Social Circle, Jersey, and Walnut Grove, and then go over to Madison and Edenton and Milledgeville. Milledgeville is a nice town too. There was Georgia College, so there's a lot of good little communities there in Middle Georgia.
And there's also what I call Bulldog City, not far from here, over in Athens. Now, are you going to be over there? I think Vice President J.D. Vance with Turning Point Tours are going to be there next Tuesday. Is that going to fit into your schedule?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to be there and hosting the J.D. Vance, assistant vice president, and Turning Point USA, and I'm also going to be back in Athens for G-Day, as well as well as the Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan concert. So
very nice. Okay, all right.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be a good time.
Well, Bert, if folks want to find out more about you and support your campaign, what website should they go to?
Yeah, it's just BertJonesForGA.com. BertJonesForGA.com. That's I'm on all the platforms, and you can go to the website. And we would love for people to volunteer, or if you want to find out more about us. The information's there, and give us a call. We'd love to get you engaged. So, but I greatly appreciate y'all having me on today.
Yes, sir. It's been our pleasure to have you on the airwaves, and hey, good luck on the campaign trail.
All right, sounds good. Well, y'all have a good day. Take care.
All right, yes, sir. That has been our Lieutenant Governor, Bert Jones, who wants to be our next governor. Great interview, and man, he's in and out of Athens.
Fun.
Yeah,
yes.
That was fun. Great questions.
Hey, and maybe we'll have him in studio soon.
Well,
so
hopefully,
stay tuned
because we're so close to Athens,
yes.
maybe we can grab him one day when he's over in Bulldog City. All right, this is Jeff Hood sitting in for Marc McMain. This is the Marc McMain Show. We're going to step away, take a break, come back with our last guest. It's got a big announcement he's going to unveil on this program. So hang on. This is WMOQ.
Body shop you know and trust? Go see AutoCorrect Collision. AutoCorrect is a family-owned and operated collision center with over 45 years of experience. Their equipment and training exceed industry standards. No repair is too big or small. Ask about the special drawings and mention this ad for a discount. Visit AutoCorrect Collision at 409 Mayfield Drive or call them at 770-207-1241.
Hey y'all, this is Bethany, owner of Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel. From durable work boots built for long days to statement pieces ready for Saturday night and everything in between, we've got the brands that feel just right for everyone in the family. Stop by and see why we're your one-stop shop. Willfully Guided Co. Boots and Western Apparel is located at 116 South Broad Street, right in the heart of downtown Monroe. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up with all the fun events happening with Willfully Guided Co. and for previews of all of our newest merchandise.
Madison Flooring, located at 1167 Eatonton Road in Madison, is your full-service and professional installation center for all kinds of flooring, from tile, carpet, laminate, wood. They even do showers. They have granite and quartz countertops. All military, police, firefighters, and teachers ask for your discount. Madison Flooring is locally owned and operated. For knowledgeable and friendly service, call 706-431-5152.
Lake Life is the Lake area's largest award-winning magazine, reaching over 25,000 readers. Pick up your copy of Lake Life magazine today. Get Lake Life free at over 100 convenient locations in Georgia's Lake Country. And keep in mind, you'll receive your free copy with a subscription to the Lake Oconee News or the Eatonton Messenger. Lake Life. It's all about the lives and events in Georgia's Lake Country. Call 706-485-3501 to subscribe. Lake Life, the biggest, the best, and it's free.
Since 1979, the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family has been caring for families in their time of need. The Tim Stewart family pledges to honor your loved one with excellence in service, compassion, and will guide you in making the right decisions. To learn more about the Tim Stewart Funeral Home family, stop in at one of their 3 locations in Monroe, Loganville, and Lawrenceville. Call 770-267-2594 or go to stewardfh.com.
Former Speaker of the House Newt Gingrich is strongly endorsing conservative Rick Jackson for governor. Here's Newt.
Few fought harder for President Trump than me, but nobody will fight harder for you than Rick Jackson. I've known Rick for over 20 years. He came from nothing, built a real business, and saved thousands of lives through his conservative Christian organizations.
America First warrior Newt Gingrich strongly endorses conservative Rick Jackson.
Like Trump, Rick is a once-in-a-generation leader. And like Trump, he can't be bought, he won't be intimidated, and the corrupt insiders know it. That's why they're scared. Rick will freeze insane property taxes, cut income taxes, and he'll fight for you, not the insiders. Join me in supporting my friend, Rick Jackson.
stand with conservative Newt Gingrich and vote for the conservative outsider, Rick Jackson, for governor.
Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
Welcome back, friends, as we get ready for the Masters in Augusta. Love that music. And I tell you, Chastity, I grew up, since I remember when I was a little kid, I love reading newspapers. Just love it.
Yes.
Can't wait to get my hands on it.
Absolutely.
Now, the daily newspapers, they've kind of dwindled. You know, they've all gone online for the most part. But the weekly newspapers are alive and well. And our next guest knows that because he owns several, I'll call them community newspapers in our area, the Covington News, and more locally, the Walton Tribune. And he's got an announcement because his portfolio is growing, and that is our friend Patrick Graham. And Patrick, I understand you got some big news for us.
You bet, Jeff. First, let me say I appreciate you having me on the show. And I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share this news with your listeners. But we're very excited, very proud, and very pleased to be able to announce that tomorrow we will be publishing our first edition as the proprietor and publisher of the Oconee Enterprise. So very exciting times. And in fact, we just sent the last page to press to our printer here just in the last 10 minutes. So we're going to have that first edition out on the streets later this evening, and we'll be in homes tomorrow whenever you get your mail.
Wow, that is incredible. Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, and you know, when you think about it, from your perspective, the Oconee Enterprise has been around a long time. It's the legal organ of Oconee, based there in Watkinsville. But just geographically, you've got the Covington News, Newton County, the Walton Tribune here in Walton County, and then it neighbors Oconee County. So from that, if nothing else, from that standpoint, it makes sense.
Absolutely. Oconee County is just a perfect fit, in my opinion. Very aligned with Walton County in terms of, social, political viewpoints, that sort of thing. So markets are very similar. And then also just being able to have all three of those markets and properties kind of in a cluster like this enables us to have some synergies that we wouldn't be able to have if we were just single one-off independent newspapers.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great fit in terms of an addition to the overall group, and I think it's going to be a win-win for not just for us, but for the readers, advertisers, and the community as well.
Well, my wife and I have lived in Oconee County for 34 years, and one of the first things I did when I arrived was got my subscription to the Oconee Enterprise. So I am a 34-year subscriber, and I plan on continuing. So when I get my paper tomorrow in the mailbox and open it up, kind of give us a glimpse. What should we look for? What's maybe a little different than what we've seen in the past?
Sure. Well, the very first thing that you're going to notice is that, in addition to a new owner, in addition to a new staff, the newspaper is going to have a new look. Okay, so we've completely redesigned the newspaper. I think it looks fantastic. I don't want to. I'm always a big fan of, under promising and then over performing. But that's going to be difficult for me in this particular case because I just think it looks great.
Yeah.
So we've tried to, and don't get me wrong, the Oconee Enterprise has been a tremendous product. As you said, it's 142 years old now. It's been around a very long time, and it's an award-winning product. But we, I think what we're trying to do here is just kind of breathe some new life into it, right? And I think we've been able to achieve that in a number of different ways. But the thing that readers are going to be able to instantly notice is the new look of the paper. And from there, I think we've got some content rearranged in it to make it a little bit more accessible, for our readers. And then there's just going to be a lot to come. In this first edition, we are trying to figure out, based on how things were previously done, how to make sure nothing's getting missed, no advertising's getting missed, no classified legals are getting missed, no stories that are supposed to be running are getting missed. So, while we're in this transition phase, it's a little bit different than once we are settled in, on the ground, and operating kind of at full speed.
And Patrick, I mentioned at the beginning of this segment how, the daily newspapers have kind of gone through a transition, and they really are just relegated to online only for the most part. Some have just stopped printing. But there's something, anybody that says newspapers are dying, maybe at the daily level, but not at the weekly level. And maybe as an experienced newspaper guy, why is it so important to offer news in your community to the readers?
Right. So, Jeff, you're exactly right. I have said for many years, I don't know how Metro dailies are going to do this moving forward. And the reason I say that is because they have a much more difficult time, in my opinion. They have a much more difficult time remaining relevant in the lives of their readers.
Yeah.
The news that they are offering, and I think this has been one of the mistakes maybe that the Metros have done or have made, is that they seem to be less worried because there's more of an investment in providing the local news. It's much easier just to grab stuff off the wire,
right,
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so, which is, from a business standpoint, might make some sense. But in the long run, basically what you're telling your readers is that the information that we're providing you can get anywhere else. You can go online. You can turn on your TV, whatever. Whereas with community newspapers, I tell people all the time, we're the only place in the world, for example, at the Walton Tribune, we're the only place in the world where you can find out about the property tax hike that the County Board of Commissioners just implemented.
Yeah.
And how that's going to affect you. We're the only place in the world you can find out how Monroe Area High School just did in their baseball game against Oconee County. Well, except now you'll also be able to find that out in the Enterprise.
Yeah.
So I think community newspapers are just in a better position to remain relevant in the lives of their readers, and that puts us in a position not just to survive, but to thrive moving forward.
Well, Patrick, we are so delighted to hear that you stepped in and are going to keep the tradition alive over in Oconee County. And I tell you, if you haven't picked up a copy and you live in Oconee County and you haven't looked at the Oconee Enterprise lately, take a look tomorrow, because I think you're going to like what you see. And I cannot wait to take a look at my newspaper when it arrives. And Patrick, again, congratulations, yes, and thanks for joining us.
Yes. I'll have to get a copy of that first one too, because that's a part of history.
Oh yeah, I'll be sure Chastity gets a copy.
Thank you.
So.
Absolutely,
right.
Absolutely. And Jeff, don't sell yourself short. We appreciate all your contributions to the County Enterprise.
Yeah. I've got some writing background experience, so maybe we can do that more down the road. We'll talk about it. But thanks again, Patrick.
That sounds great.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Patrick.
y'all.
That
Talk
has,
to you later.
That has been
Bye-bye.
Patrick Graham, owner of the Walton Tribune, Covington News, a few newspapers in
Amazing
Alabama, and now the Oconee
Yes.
Enterprise. So
keeping it neighborly.
That's
you know,
right.
Mr. Curry was just telling us about
Yeah.
neighbors and the importance. It don't have to be your actual neighbor.
That's right.
The neighboring counties, the
Right.
neighboring states, we're all neighbors.
absolutely.
And love your neighbor.
Well said. And thanks for joining us today. This has been the Marc McMain Show. I'm Jeff Hood. We'll be back with you next Wednesday. Hey, and be sure to tune in. If you can't find a badge to go to Augusta, tune in and enjoy the Masters Golf Tournament, a tradition unlike any other. So long, friends. We'll see you next Wednesday.